Good morning, sir.
So yes, hello Sandhya, and
Good morning.
good morning. And there is a message from Nikhil in the group. Akhilesh. Okay,
Morning,
people.
sir.
Hello Akhilesh. Uh, Listen, guys.
Yes, sir.
When we speak or write in English, then there are a few things that we do not notice, and that's why we learn slowly and we make mistakes as well. So I'm going to share with you what are those things. Okay. First of all, let me share my Telegram group with you. Okay. This is from Nikhil here. Okay. So I would like to copy because this is too small here. Copy, 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 selected test. Okay. And now I would like to put it here in my text document in bigger format. Okay. Control V. Okay. So now let's see. There are a few things that we guys don't notice at all. Okay. Sorry, sir. Today I was absent because of me. What does he mean? I think he wants to say, Nikhil, you're here. Why don't you tell us what you meant when you said, sorry, sir, today I was absent because of me?
Yes, sir.
Nikhil? Yes. What idea did you have in your mind when you said, sorry, sir, today I was absent because of me?
तो मैं अपने कारण से ही absent हुआ
I knew.
हुआ था.
हिंदी से भी अपने अपने कारण से एबसेंट, अपने कारण से, तो बिकॉज ऑफ मी. तो बेटा, yes, I can understand that. This frustrates me a little bit. अपने कारण से एबसेंट थे. Because of me. Okay. मेरी वजह से is because of me. अपने कारण से नहीं. All right. So I was absent. That's it. Remove the phrase because of me. You don't need it. In these days, I'm not. In these days, I am not. I'm not waking up on time. That's why. These days, I'm not waking up on time. That's why. Very good. Very good. Notice this. And I didn't scare. And I didn't scare. Okay? Notice this line here. I didn't scare. I was curious and happy when I heard about it. Sandhya, you had studied with us in the 7:30 batch. I take this mistake, not a big mistake. You need to write 7:30. I know her very well. I'm not scared. अच्छा बच्चा बताओ ये दोनों लाइन को कंपेयर करो. I'm not scared and I didn't scare. यही चीज मैं गौर करने के लिए कह रहा हूं. यहां पर मुझे लगता है कि तुम लोग गौर नहीं करते. एक जगह तुम लिखते हो I'm not scared. तो I'm not scared का पास्ट क्या होता है? Right? Nikhil? I'm not scared का पास्ट क्या होता है? ये वो सारे लोग सोचे I'm not scared का पास्ट क्या होता है?
I
निखिल
wasn't
तुम बताओ.
scared. I wasn't scared.
तुमने एग्जैक्टली तुमने यहाँ क्या लिखा बेटा?
I didn't scare.
आई डिडंट स्केयर का प्रेजेंट क्या होगा?
I don't scare.
राइट तो दोनों में कोई मैचिंग है? तुमने एक ही बात दो जगह लिखी है, ठीक है? एक बार पास्ट के बारे में लिखा था, एक में प्रेजेंट में लिखा है, दो तरह से लिख दिया है बिल्कुल. तो आई होप कि आपको समझ में आ रही है कि आपकी कहाँ गलती है. आप इन सब चीजों पे गौर किया करें. क्या इसको कहते हैं एक रूपता है कि नहीं, यूनिफॉर्मिटी है कि नहीं आपके सेंटेंस में? जब आप कहते हो आई एम नॉट स्केर्ड, अगर आप कन्विंस्ड हो कि आई एम नॉट स्केर्ड सही है, तो पास्ट टेंस क्या होना चाहिए? आई
I
वाजंट
wasn't
स्केर्ड.
scared.
Yes. So this is how you should observe small things, okay? So I didn't scare is not good English. I didn't scare somebody. मैंने उसको नहीं डराया. I didn't scare the child. मैंने बच्चे को नहीं डराया. I scared the child. Positive, I scared the child. ठीक है? और प्रेजेंट में सर बच्चों को डराते हैं. सर scares. तो scare means डराना होता है. Scare means scare somebody. Scare somebody. Scare somebody. किसी को डराना. मुझे डराओ मत, मुझे डराने की कोशिश मत करो. डोंट ट्राई टू स्केयर मी. डोंट ट्राई टू स्केयर मी. मुझे डराने की कोशिश मत करो. डोंट ट्राई टू स्केयर मी. सो स्केयर मीन्स डराना. आई एम नॉट स्केयर्ड. हम डरे हुए नहीं, हम डरा नहीं रहे, नहीं हम डरे हुए नहीं. आई एम नॉट स्केयर्ड. पास्ट में आई वाजंट स्केयर्ड. तो तुम कैसे ऐसे करते हो कि एक जगह पे डिडंट स्केयर लिखते हो, आई एम नॉट स्केयर्ड लिखते हो, रियलाइज नहीं करते कि तुमने दो बातें लिख दी. कभी भी ऐसा हो सकता है आई एम नॉट हैप्पी एंड आई डिडंट हैप्पी.
No.
उसमें से एक ही सही होने वाला है, राइट? तो आई एम नॉट स्केयर्ड सही है, तो आई वाजंट स्केयर्ड होता. मैं डरा हुआ नहीं था सर, ना ही नर्वस था. आई वाजंट स्केयर्ड, आई वाज क्यूरियस एंड हैप्पी. You've written very well, but this one mistake, made me think कि आप लोग कुछ चीजों पे ध्यान नहीं देते हो. अगर ध्यान देते तो दोनों ही चीजें नहीं लिखते यार. तो आपको गलत आता, आपको सही आता है, लेकिन उस सही को आप बाकी जगह एक्सटेंड करके नहीं ले जाते हो. आप प्रेजेंट में सही बोलते हैं, आई एम नॉट स्केयर्ड, लेकिन उसको पास्ट में नहीं बोल पाते सही. इसकी वजह वही है, वर्ब पे ज्यादा ध्यान दो. इफ यू पे अटेंशन टू द वर्ब नाउ, then you will not make such mistakes. You can easily avoid these mistakes. Okay. All right, everybody, let's study our book. And I have a new screen here, big screen. Sanjeev, can you please turn on the light? Thank you. And I'm very happy about it. The last page, we were comparing the two emails, right? I'm gonna finish the second email very quickly. I don't know if I can do it very quickly because I have the habit of, explaining in detail. So we were reading this second email. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Evans, I'd like to thank you so much for having me, for inviting me to stay last weekend. I had a really lovely time. And I was so pleased to meet you at last. And I was so pleased to meet you at last. So when you read this line, I was so pleased to meet you at last. Some people whose English is not very good, they might think last meeting, okay? But this phrase at last doesn't mean last. It means after such a long time, after a wait, finally, I was so pleased to meet you at last. It means this girl, what's her name? Tanya. Tanya had been trying to see, her boyfriend's parents. Okay, what's her boyfriend's name?
Matt.
Matt's parents. She'd been trying, and finally she met them. So she's saying, "I was so pleased to meet you at last." It means they had been communicating. They messaged each other, they texted each other, they emailed each other, but finally she met them. So that's what she's saying. And I was so pleased to meet you at last. Okay. So this sentence tells us that it was their first meeting. How interesting that the word we use in the sentence is last. And actually, it is the first meeting. Okay. Imagine that you have been saving to buy a car. Okay. But somehow, this thing came up, that thing came up, and sometimes somebody fell sick, you had to spend the money or some other things, and your plan of buying the car was delayed again and again and again. Okay, but one day finally you go to the showroom and you buy the car, then you put a status on Facebook or maybe on WhatsApp, "I got my car at last." Okay, what does that mean? You got your car, right? You're excited about it, and there was a little bit of a problem and all that, but now you have the car. Okay, so yes, I got my car at last. Okay, so similarly, here I was so pleased to meet you at last. So at last here is a fixed expression, at last, um, which doesn't mean last time. It means finally, right? After so much wait, after so much of delay, finally. Okay. So for example, a teacher is explaining something to the class, and the students are not getting it somehow. They're not getting it. The teacher explains again and again and again, and then finally the students understand. Okay. The teacher will say, "Okay, so you understood at last." Okay. I hope you understand. So at last is another phrase for finally. Okay. And I was so pleased to meet you at last. Okay. The meal you made was delicious. The meal you made was delicious. The meal you made was delicious. Okay. Delicious means very tasty. Uh, in English, there is a tension of, there is a certain group of adjectives which will cause you guys a lot of confusion and problems, like the word delicious. Normally with words like delicious, we don't use the word very. I know people say very delicious, but you shouldn't. You should say, "Oh, absolutely delicious." Okay, instead of very delicious. There are some adjectives in English, they are called non-gradable adjectives. They are called non-gradable adjectives. Okay. And there are some adjectives which are very strong adjectives. Okay. And those adjectives, we just do not use the word very with them. We simply use the word absolutely if we want to. Otherwise, the word itself is very strong. "Oh, it's delicious." Oh, if you use the word tasty, you can say very tasty, tastier, okay, tastiest. Delicious, you simply say, "Oh, it is really delicious. It is absolutely delicious," instead of saying it is very delicious. Okay, let's go to the dictionary. Give me a second. Okay, let's look at the word delicious. Okay, delicious, adjective. Having a very pleasant taste or smell, a delicious cake. The delicious smell of freshly made coffee came from the kitchen. This wine is delicious. used to describe a situation or activity that gives you great pleasure. I have some delicious gossip. I have some delicious gossip. Okay. Did you find the word very delicious anywhere? Did you find the word very delicious anywhere? The food was absolutely delicious. Okay. This wine has a delicious fruity flavor. I can recommend the chicken in mushroom sauce. It's delicious. There is a delicious smell in here. That was a delicious lunch. Thank you. Okay, guys, if you notice, dictionary teaches you a lot of things about a word. Some people will say the dictionary doesn't teach you everything, which I agree with. Okay, dictionary doesn't teach you a lot of things about the practical use of the word. But when it comes to the grammar part of it, a dictionary gives you all the important information regarding the grammar of that word. Okay, so if you notice, in not one place you will read the word very delicious or more delicious and stuff like that. It's a non-gradable adjective. Now, this idea of non-gradable adjective is pretty interesting. Actually, why we find it difficult to grab, because in our childhood we have been taught the Hindi of these words. Delicious means swadist. ऐसा ही पढ़ा है ना हम लोगों ने. Delicious means स्वादिष्ट. तो tasty मतलब, तो फिर दोनों में फर्क नहीं समझ में आएगा ना. यही दिक्कत. बचपन में पढ़ लिया टेस्टी मतलब स्वादिष्ट और डिलीशियस मतलब स्वादिष्ट. अभी यहाँ जहां जहां डिलीशियस लिखा हुआ सब जगह टेस्टी नहीं लगा सकते तुम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, will you say I have some tasty gossip to tell you? Tasty gossip नहीं बोलेंगे अब. Okay, you can definitely say tasty cake. Okay, tasty, very good. Okay, but बोलेंगे tasty smell of freshly made coffee? नहीं. So tasty and delicious are similar but not exactly the same. Okay, when it comes to describing food, we can use the word delicious or tasty, no problems. But delicious has more meanings as well. So, and delicious is a non-gradable adjective. Delicious, delicious. Okay, so delicious. Okay, delicious.
Delicious.
Delicious. Okay, so delicious, you don't say very delicious. And the thing is, I have to teach you this that you don't say very delicious because of your childhood habits. If I have a young child studying with me, okay, if I have a young child studying with me who has not had the chance to learn English elsewhere, okay, then perhaps that child will never say very delicious. The reason is, the way I teach, he will never get the exposure to very delicious. He will never hear very delicious, either from me or in any audio files I play. So that child will never think of the phrase very delicious. Will usually say delicious or absolutely delicious. Actually, when I say the word delicious, I kind of feel the word. Other people, when they say the word delicious, they think of the word tasty. They don't think of the word delicious. Okay. So when I say delicious, the way I say it, I feel the word. Okay. And they make the sound delicious out of their mouth, but in their mind, they're thinking tasty and swadist. And that's why they will not hesitate in saying very delicious or more delicious and stuff like that. Okay. But I will simply not do it because I have never heard that first, and I know a little bit grammar, and I'm telling you guys that there is a group of adjectives. They are usually strong adjectives, very strong adjectives, and they are non-gradable adjectives. We don't use the word very with them. So you can learn all these things. English is very, very deep when it comes to mastering English. It takes years and years of learning for a foreign student like you guys to master English. To learn English, sometimes 6 months, 1 year is more than enough to learn English. But to be good at English requires a lot of time. There are two different things I hope you appreciate. Learning a language and being good at that language are two different things. You can learn a language and start using it. People will understand what you mean. But if you want to be good at it, if you don't want to make mistakes, then that takes a lot of time. Okay, a lot of time. Let's continue. I'd like to thank you so much for having me to stay last weekend. I had really lovely time and I was so pleased to meet you at last. The meal you made was delicious. Matt told me his mother was an excellent cook. Matt told me his mother was an excellent cook. An excellent cook can make something delicious. अरे अभी भी गलत बोला तूने, डिलीशियस बोला, वो आई तेरा गया ही नहीं वहां से, मैं इतनी बार बोला डिलीशियस डिलीशियस, लेकिन तुम्हारा डिलीशियस हो ही गया, कितना भी कर ले। भाई साहब बहन लोग ध्यान दो, ओके, इट इज नॉट डिलीशियस, ओके, ये वाले आई को भूल सकते हो या बोलोगे तुझे भूल जाना जाना मुमकिन नहीं, क्या बोलने वाले हो, बोलो। नहीं हो सकता है, वही रिपीट कर दो, तुझे भूल जाना जाना मुमकिन नहीं। Okay, just a second. Let me move it a little bit. Not here, not here. This I is not there. Now read delicious. Okay, yeah, delicious. Okay. And the stress is on the second syllable, delicious. Okay. Li, li, we stress that delicious. Okay. And that is how we pronounce it. It is not delicious, एक बराबर टोन में से बोल दिया, ऐसे नहीं है। और ये सब इसीलिए होता है बच्चों, फिर से बता रहा हूँ, अगर मैं छोटे बच्चों को पढ़ा रहा हूँ तो मेरे मुंह से डिलीशियस निकलेगा, वो डिलीशियस कॉपी कर लेंगे, वो डिलीशियस तक जाएंगे नहीं, क्योंकि उसने सुना ही नहीं तो कैसे बोल देंगे डिलीशियस। तो आप इसीलिए डिलीशियस बोलते हो क्योंकि आपके टीचर ने इसको डिलीशियस पढ़ा था, ठीक है। तो थोड़ा सा अपने पुराने प्यार को, मतलब पुराने टीचर को भूल जाओ और नए टीचर पे ज्यादा ध्यान दो, ओके। यू मेड दैट मील यू मेड वाज डिलीशियस, द मील यू मेड वाज डिलीशियस। अच्छा, गाना जो तुम गाए थे क्या मस्त था यार, कैसे बोलेंगे इंग्लिश में? द सॉन्ग यू sang, the song you sang was wonderful.
Good, wonderful.
What was wonderful? The song. Which song?
You
The song you sang. You sang adjective का काम कर रहा है, देखो गौर से। कौन सा गाना भाई? The song you sang. तो जो नाउन के बारे में कुछ बताया वो एडजेक्टिव होता है ना, हालांकि यहाँ पर हम सब्जेक्ट वर्ब यूज कर रहे हैं, you sang, but this clause you sang is working as an adjective, yes or no? जो तुम गिफ्ट हमको दिया वो कभी हम नहीं भूल सकते, you know, the gift you gave me was unforgettable. The gift you gave me was unforgettable. अच्छा, और भी बहुत सारे, इसी जो खीर मम्मी बनाई थी रे बाबा क्या टेस्टी था। Go ahead guys.
The kheer mummy made was very tasty.
Very tasty. I love that, Srishti. You did not say very delicious. Very good. Very tasty. It was delicious. जो अनुभव हमको वहां मिला वो एकदम प्राइसलेस, उसका बेशकीमती है वो अनुभव। The experience I received, okay? The experience I got or I had was priceless. The experience I had there was priceless, okay? Priceless, you know, you can't put a price on it. Beshkimt, it was priceless. Okay. The experience you gave me, or the experience I had, was priceless. जो चीजें हम लोग यहाँ सीखते हैं उसकी कोई कीमत नहीं। मतलब कोई कीमत नहीं, मतलब बेशकीमती है, ऐसा नहीं कि कोई कीमत नहीं है। How will you say that? The things we learn here, the things we learn here are, क्यों बोला? क्योंकि the things we learn here are priceless. Okay. And if I said worthless, by the way, then कोई कीमत नहीं, बेकार, रद्दी. All right, garbage, worthless, opposite of each other. Okay, priceless, worthless. Okay, fine. The meal you made was delicious. Matt told me his mother was an excellent cook. Matt told me his mother was an excellent cook. Notice the use of was. Matt told me his mother was an excellent cook. Imagine Matt's words. Imagine Matt's words. Imagine Matt talking to Tanya. My mom is an excellent cook. Right? What will he say? My mom is an excellent cook. Do you see my mom here?
No.
You see his mom. Okay. Matt told me his mom was an excellent cook. Okay. Matt told me his mom was an excellent cook. And he was right. He was right. I also enjoyed our walk. I also enjoyed our walk. Enjoy. I enjoyed. What did we enjoy? Our walk. I enjoyed our walk. We have a subject, we have an object. I is the subject of enjoyed. I enjoyed. What did I enjoy? Our walk. Our walk is the object. I enjoyed our walk. I also enjoyed our walk. Dash. The countryside and woods near your house are beautiful. The countryside and the woods near your house are beautiful. So it's clear that Matt's parents, they live near the countryside, because the sentence is that the countryside near your house, the woods near your house are beautiful. Okay. The journey back, वापस जाते समय, the journey back was long. The journey back was long, and I slept for most of the way. Again, I slept for the rest of the journey. I slept for most of the way. It was very kind of you to drive me to the station. It was very kind of you to drive me to the station so early in the morning. Matt's parents also drove her to the coach station in the morning. Okay. So she's thanking them. It was very kind of you. Suppose somebody helped you and you are thanking them in a formal way. You'll say, oh, it is so kind of you. It was so kind of you to, to lend me the money. Okay. It was so kind of you to lend me the money. All right. Okay. It was very kind of you to drive me to the station. So who drove her to the station? Matt's parents. Matt's parents drove her to the station. Okay. So early in the morning. They drove her, it means they took her there in their car. They drove her to the station. It means they took her in their car. I was very grateful. I was very grateful. Grateful is an adjective, of course, like beautiful, like useful. Grateful is also an adjective. All the words with full are adjectives, right? Beautiful, grateful, beautiful. So when you say somebody is grateful, it means that person acknowledges that you have helped them. When I acknowledge that you have helped me, then I am grateful to you. And when I don't acknowledge, I'm ungrateful to you. Okay? So sometimes some people are ungrateful. They will never acknowledge when you help them. Okay? They'll, you have done nothing. Some children are so ungrateful, you know. Some children are so ungrateful. They never acknowledge what their parents have done for them. They always complain, you did nothing for me. You didn't do this for me. You didn't do that for me. And they don't realize how much their parents have done. So they are ungrateful children, okay? Ungrateful. And if you acknowledge somebody did something for you, then you are grateful, okay? So ungrateful, grateful. What is good to be, grateful or ungrateful? It is good to be grateful. It's a good quality. We should be grateful, right? To people and to people who have done something for us in our lives, especially our parents and our teachers. We should be grateful to them because they have definitely helped us a lot. And it's very easy to be selfish. Parents could, you know, a lot of parents don't really do much for themselves. They have money, but they don't buy new clothes for themselves or, you know, fashionable things for themselves. Even though they are very interested in those things, they make those sacrifices and buy good quality education for their children with that money. They invest that money into the future of those children, their children. So I think parents make a lot of sacrifices, and children need to appreciate that. Okay, I was very grateful. It's good to be back at university. It's good to be back at university. Again, she's also again saying that it's good to be back at university. There she said it was good to forget about the exams for the weekend. And now she's saying it's good to be back at university. All right. She's happy that she's back at university. Okay. It's good to be back at university. I have a lot of work at the moment before the exams start. I have a lot of work at the moment. I have a lot of work to do at the moment before the exams start. I know Matt has exams too. I know Matt has exams too. Yeah, Matt has exams too. So we can't see each other. So we can't see each other until the end of June. Okay, so Tanya is saying we can't see each other until the end of June. And when is she saying this? On the 21st of April, she's saying this. Okay, now we can't see each other until the end of June. We are just too busy because of the exam and all. Okay, but we all know just 10 days later, she was with Matt. Okay, on the 1st of May, she was with Matt. So what might have happened? It's anybody's guess, you know. Tanya might have said, hey, Matt, you know, maybe, no, you must come. I'm cooking something for you. All right. Okay. And she came and she had a good time. Thank you again for everything. I'd love to visit again in the summer holidays with Matt. Next time she would like to visit in the summer holidays with Matt. Thank you again for everything. Best wishes, Tanya. So this is the text this is the email to Matt's parents. And guys, Matt's parents are not very close to her, as close as her boyfriend. So her tone is slightly different in this email. You can notice that. So let's compare. The beginning is Dear Mr. and Mrs. Evans, and the beginning is Hi, Matt. When she writes to her parents, she says, best wishes, Tanya, when she finishes. And when she finishes, she says, lots of love, Tanya, obviously. So the beginning and the ending are different. And there are so many other differences as well. First sentence, I'd like to thank you so much for having me to stay last weekend. And the way she thanks Matt for taking her to the coach station. She says, you are a star for getting up early to take me to the coach station. And here she says, it was very kind of you to drive me to the station so early in the morning. I was very grateful. So there are quite a few differences here, right? Any other difference that you guys noticed? The journey was long, and I slept for most of the way. Now the same thing is here. The journey was so long and boring. All right. So see the way it's written. Okay. Now you guys are going to write an email. Will you? No. Oh, yes. You have to imagine that you visited somebody. You have to imagine, because I'm sure you didn't visit. You have to imagine maybe that you visited somebody, okay? And now you're back and you're talking about it. You have to thank them. So you have to write, you have to write an email to a friend, okay? You visited that friend. Imagine if you have a friend you want to visit, and imagine that you have visited already. And when you're back, you're talking about it in the email. You're thanking him or her. So write an email first of all and put it in the group, everyone. That will be your homework for Monday. Now we are moving on to the next unit called Life in the City. Life in the city and life in a village. Very different, is very different experience, right? You can't compare, especially in India. City life and village life, they are incomparable. Okay. Where do you find these birds? Take a look at this. Which bird is this, guys? It's a pigeon. It's a pigeon, right? It's a pigeon, a big pigeon. All right. Where do you find these birds? I definitely find them in India. Okay. Do you find them in towns, cities, and villages both, or only in villages? These birds. I mean, I see some pigeons in Bihar as well. Some, not a lot. But people say that they see more pigeons in the villages. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it possible for you to catch a pigeon? You are not an owner. Sometimes they come to your roof now. So is it possible to catch them?
Yes.
How
In
will
the
you do
night,
that?
sir, in the night when I went on the roof, I saw a pigeon on balcony. I mean, on wall. Then that time I catch it.
निखिल, why did you start in the
I
past? जब हम गए थे, तुम कहते हो जब हम जाते हैं कि जब हम गए थे? What did you want to say?
गए थे sir one
तो
time.
फिर
It
अच्छा,
happened just one.
very good. तो फिर तुमने पकड़ लिया, then you caught it.
Yes sir.
And what did you do with it?
Nothing sir. I can मतलब कि उसको उस रात भर रखे फिर मॉर्निंग में छोड़ दिया और क्या. I
kept it with me for one night, and
yes,
next morning
I kept it.
Next morning I freed it, released it, okay?
Freed. Yes sir.
Okay. I know you guys will hate me, but I love pigeon's meat.
Yes sir. My neighbors also.
It is so amazing. And I was saying, if you could find a pigeon in your village, catch it for me. Be my partner in the sin. I will eat and you will catch it for me. When I was talking to my wife's sister, it cost 200 rupees. Okay. One piece. Okay. How big? Small or big? Any size. Oh, it's a big one, then I would love it. Okay. I won't mind paying 200 rupees. I was talking to my wife's, first of all, I was sharing this with my wife that once I went to my friend's village He had lots of pigeons there, and he cooked two, three of them for us, and we had a great meal. It was unforgettable, really tasty. Then my wife shared this story with her brothers and sisters, and they were all making fun of me that I, was talking about eating pigeons. Then one of her sisters says to me, Jijaji, come to our village, and I will catch birds, the pigeons for you because there are a lot of them on my roof, and I'll cook one for you. I said, okay, I will come someday. So I just think it's a great idea. Catch a pigeon on the roof and you don't have to pay. Have free meal. Have free meat. Okay, pigeons. Are they sometimes a problem? Are these pigeons sometimes a problem? I think you should know. I know they are a problem. Come on, guys. Haven't you ever experienced that problem? They have a very bad habit. They have a very bad habit. They do their business on the top of the people. There is a tree outside Nalanda College on the road, on that road, along that road, I should say. There is a tree, and under that tree, the road is never clean. It's so dirty because of what they do, all these pigeons, And when you're passing through that road, you need to be very careful when you are going under that tree, because they can do it on the top of your head or on the top of your clothes anytime. And I have been the victim a couple of times on a couple of occasions, and I hate it. So I try to avoid going under that tree, Okay, so yes, they are a problem sometimes. They do their business on the top of the people's head and their clothes, especially when they're going to a meeting. Imagine this. And it's not a little bit, it's a lot of, it's a lot in quantity. It will disgust you. If they did it on your shoulder, it will be like the whole, it will be wet. First of all, the whole, shirt will be wet here, and it will smell bad, and you will be disgusted, because other birds do a little bit of it, but pigeons, they do a lot of it. Okay. The formal word is defecate. The formal word is defecate. Okay. So they defecate on the top of the people's heads. They defecate on the top of on people's clothes. Okay. So defecate is the formal word. You can say the word without feeling embarrassed. Defecate. And there are some other informal words like poo or poop. Okay. So they poop on top of people's heads. Okay. Poop is informal word. Children use such words, Poop, as you see, hear the word poop. So it sounds very, childish, poop. So this is also a word in English. Their poop is, the thing they do is also called poop. Their poop. Their poop is in big amount. It will disgust you. Like other birds, poop is very little, okay? But their poop is a lot. And it's very wet as well. It's not like solid, hard that will roll off your shirt. If another bird did something like that, then it will roll off your shirt. It will fall on your shirt and it will roll off, okay? But their poop is wet and it will be stuck on your shirt and it will disgust you. So that's the problem with pigeons. Now, grammar, comparative adjectives. Work with the partner. मैं कुछ भी बोलता हूँ तो मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि अपने phrases, हाथ वगैरह दिखा करके, gesture दिखा के आपको समझाऊं मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. अब प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ ये होगी कि आप एक बार सुनोगे तो वो दिमाग में नहीं रहेगा, समझ तो आ ही जानी है. तो मैं पूरी कोशिश करता हूँ. आई टेक प्राइड इन दैट फैक्ट कि बैठे जो भी लोग रहते हैं वो अंदाजा लगा लेते हैं मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. अब भले ही संध्या इस क्लास में नहीं पढ़ी, ज्यादा दिन नहीं पढ़ी इंग्लिश, ठीक है, लेकिन उनको अंदाजा लग रहा होगा मैं किस बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ. संध्या आप समझ गई थी कि मैं कबूतर के वो टॉयलेट करने की बात कर रहा हूं, आपको पता चल गया था? आप समझ गई थी कि मैं पिजन के टॉयलेट करने के बारे में बात कर रहा था, जो मैं बता रहा था? आपको अंदाजा लग गया था? समीर, आप भी समझ गए थे? नहीं समझे तो फिर बताएं मुझे। अखिलेश, आपको अंदाजा लग गया था कि मैं बात कर रहा था, जब प्रॉब्लम की बात कर रहा था कि पिजन जो है वो बहुत सारा टॉयलेट कर देते हैं शर्ट वगैरह पे, आपके सिर पे? आप समझ गए थे कि मैं उस बारे में बात कर
यस
रहा
सर।
था? ठीक है,
यस सर।
अखिलेश ने 15 दिन हुआ है, उनकी इंग्लिश बहुत अच्छी नहीं, लेकिन वो समझ गया था। तो ये समझ जाना ना, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि मैं क्या बारे में बात करता हूँ। अब अगर आप रिकॉर्डिंग देखोगे तो थोड़ा सा वर्ड्स पे ज्यादा ध्यान दोगे कि कैसे कैसे वो वर्ड्स बोले हैं, ठीक है? जैसे मैंने निखिल को बताया कि वो डिडेंट और वॉजंट दो जगह कंफ्यूज हो रहे हैं क्योंकि वो ध्यान नहीं दे रहे वहां पे ना। कैसे आप ध्यान दे करके दो बातें लिख सकते हैं? आप कैसे लिख सकते हैं आई वॉजंट हैप्पी एंड आई डिडंट हैप्पी? दोनों कैसे लिख सकते हैं? अगर आपको नहीं आता तो आप डिडंट हैप्पी लिख दे सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप एक जगह वॉजंट हैप्पी लिखते हैं, दूसरी जगह डिडंट हैप्पी, तो आप अपने ही चीजों को नहीं गौर करें कि आप क्या लिख रहे हैं। ऐसा तो है नहीं कि वॉजंट और डिडंट एक ही चीज है, राइट? तो जब आपने कह दिया आई एम नॉट स्केयर्ड, तो पक्का एक स्केयर्ड एक एडजेक्टिव है, तो फिर आप डिडंट कैसे बोल सकते हैं, राइट? तो ऐसे गौर करने का, लॉजिक करने का। तो व्हेन आई टीच, व्हेन आई स्पीक इंग्लिश, whatever I'm talking about, I think I can. When Akhilesh said yes, he understood, I am getting a lot of confidence, okay? Because उसको मैटर तो समझ में आ रहा था ना कि सर किस बारे में बात करें। मेरे वर्ड्स नए थे बहुत सारे। डिस्गस्ट उसने पहली बार सुना होगा, मे बी। पूप पहली बार सुना, डेफिकेट पहली बार सुना, और राइट, आप लोग 5 वर्ड याद करने की बात करते हो, राइट? कभी उस रफ्तार से नहीं इंग्लिश सीखी जा सकती। द रीजन इज, वो 5 वर्ड एक तो से याद करोगे, लिस्ट पहुंचा 200, 400, 5000, उसके बाद आप बोलना शुरू करोगे, बिकॉज रिविजन नहीं हो पाएगी ना। You understand what I mean? If the list becomes longer, revision becomes more difficult now. When there are 20 words, you can revise them. When there are 50 words, you can still revise them, maybe. It will take longer, but you can revise them. If the list becomes 200, 400, 500, 1000, then how will you revise them, right? And the problem is, when you memorize words from a list, okay, then you only remember the Hindi of those words. You don't know anything more, okay? You cannot use those words correctly. There is no guarantee you will understand the feel of the words, but you will just remember what the Hindi was written next to the word. You will remember it as a list, that's it. It's kind of having money, but not having the control over the money. You cannot use it. You just feel happy that I have this much money, but you cannot use it. Okay, you don't have the authority to use that money. It's like that kind of wealth. Memorizing vocabulary is like that kind of wealth which you think you have, but you cannot use. Okay. But when I use these words like this in the right context, defecate came today from my mouth when there was a situation to use the word defecate. The situation was perfect. You understood, oh, defecate, pigeons defecate, human beings also defecate. Sometimes we human beings defecate on the at the train tracks. They right? Okay, that's very bad. um, so poop is another word for defecate because the context was right. A lot of students will, if they revise, they will remember these words. They will remember it in the context. Okay, and it will be easy for them to understand next time somebody says these words. Maybe they'll use these words too. Okay. Samir and Sandhya did not respond very positively. Akhilesh did. Anybody else? I don't want to ask you, ask other people, because other people have been attending the class for quite some time. So of course they should understand me. But I was asking Sandhya, Samir and Akhilesh because comparatively, they have spent little time here, in the class. That's why I was asking. So, Sandhya, एक बार फिर से पूछता हूँ. Let me ask you again. आपको मेरी बात समझ में आ रही थी कि क्या बारे में बात हो रही थी? आप ऐसे थे क्लूलेस कि क्या बात कर रहे हैं, पता नहीं चल रहा है, कुछ बात कर रहे समझ नहीं आ रहा है. ऐसा हो रहा था या आपको पता था कि हम लोग उस
हाँ
बारे
सर,
में बात कर रहे
पता चल रहा था।
है ना? तो ये जो पता चलने की जो क्वालिटी है ना, मेरे इंग्लिश बोलने पर भी आपको पता चल रहा होता है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। मैंने कल एक लॉन्ग लेक्चर दिया है नेक्स्ट क्लास में, आपके बाद वाले बैच में, एंड वो मैं सब लोगों के साथ शेयर करूंगा जल्दी ही, वो काट करके ट्रिम करके वो वीडियो का हिस्सा, बिकॉज आई हैव सेड व्हाट आई टोटली feel convinced about, that real learning is not from the book or anything. It's just because of this conversation we are having today with each other. That's all. And whether we talk about pigeons, whether we talk about girlfriends, we talk about politics, anything. As long as I talk to you and I make sure that you understand what I'm talking about, okay? You are learning. Whether you realize it or not, you're learning. Yes, it might take a little longer if you do nothing at home. It might take a little longer, but you are learning. And if I switch to Hindi, by the way, then your learning of English language as a language, stops. Knowledge and skill, language skill, are two different things. I can share knowledge about English speaking Hindi, but I cannot help you improve your skill, English skill, when I speak Hindi. That's one thing you should always remember. So when I'm talking, you care about the sequence of my words, okay? That's all. Learn and observe how I'm putting words together in the sequence. Keep paying attention to that. That's all. Now, grammar section, comparative adjectives, starter. 1, work with a partner. Okay, we are ready to work with a partner. Think of a town or city in your country. Say where it is. Let's change. Let's not work with a partner. Let's work as a class. Okay. Think of a town or city in your country and say where it is. This exercise can be more fun if we have people from different countries, but because we are all from the same country, India, let's still do it. Let's still do it, okay? So this city is in the east of India. This city is in the east of the country, okay? It is very famous and it is a very old city. It is near the sea and it is famous for its culture. It has a very, very famous bridge. Which country am I talking about? Do you have an idea? I said it is in the east. It is very famous for its culture. It is a very big city. It is very old as well. And it is near the ocean. It is near the sea. All right. And it has a very famous bridge. If you do not know which city I'm talking about, then I will tell you it is on the river Hooghly.
Kolkata, sir.
Yes, it is Kolkata. Now, can you do this? What I did? Can you talk about a city like this? Share some information and we will try to guess. This city is a very famous city in India. It is one of the very famous cities in India. It is in the north. It is not near the sea. It is not near the mountains. It is not near the sea. It is not near the mountain. It was a capital city for some time. It is very famous for 2 things, or maybe 3 things. It is very famous for a very, very special building. And it is also famous for a very special hospital. And it is famous for a certain type of sweets.
UP?
UP is not a city, Nikhil. UP is not a
Kolkata.
city. Eh, Kolkata is very famous for a particular type of a particular building. I understand this applies on Kolkata as well,
But
and
North,
it is famous for a special type of sweets. It also applies. But I said, Sandhya, that it is
North.
not near the sea, and Kolkata is near the sea. Okay, it's on the river Ganga, I think.
Allahabad.
I'm not
Allahabad, sir.
sure. I was okay. Now I'll say it is famous for a mental hospital. Okay, and it is also famous for a certain type of sweets called petha. You know, means
Yes.
Agra.
Yes,
Agra is famous for the Taj Mahal as well, right? Okay, it is in the north. I don't know. Is Agra on River Ganga or Jamuna?
Yamuna, sir.
Yamuna. Sorry, I was wrong there. Okay. All right. Other people, do you have anything like this? Any puzzle like this? Can you ask about a city? No?
No.
Why? All right. Now listen to the sentences in 9.1. Which sentences are about London? Which are about New York? You have to tell me which sentences are about London and which sentences are about New York. And sometimes, of course, you will not be sure. Sometimes you will not be sure. In that case, you could say, I think it is about London. I think it is about New York. Okay, like this, 9.1.
9.1. London or New York? 1,
It's on the River Thames. 2.
It's on the River Thames. London or New York is on the River
London.
Thames. Is on the River Thames or New York is on the River Thames.
London, sir.
London is on River Thames.
Thames. Thames.
Okay. So the sentence was, it is on the River Thames. So you say, London is on the River Thames. Okay, good. This is how you will respond. Next.
It was first called New Amsterdam.
It was first called New Amsterdam. London was first called New Amsterdam, or New York was first called New Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
London was first called New Amsterdam, or New York was first called New Amsterdam? The statement is, it was first called New Amsterdam. It was first called New Amsterdam. Make a guess if you're not sure. I think London was first called New Amsterdam. No, I think New York was first called New Amsterdam. Okay, guys, make a guess. Don't worry, you will not lose any money if you're wrong. New Amsterdam, New Amsterdam. Okay. It was London. London was first called New Amsterdam. Okay, Sanjeev thinks that London was first called New Amsterdam. What about the rest of you guys? What do you guys think? London was first called New Amsterdam or New York was first called New Amsterdam?
London was.
I would appreciate if you say the whole sentence. I think London was first called New Amsterdam, sir.
London was first called New Amsterdam.
जब ये मैं रिपीट करवाता हूं तो मैं सोचता हूं ऐसा मेरे दिमाग में चलता है कि आप लोग ना समझ पाते होंगे बेहतर आपने क्या कहा, क्योंकि आपने पूरा बोला है ना, तो आप अपने वर्ड से समझ पाएंगे बेहतर कि आपने क्या बोला। आपने बोला मेरे ख्याल से लंदन को पहले न्यू एम्स्टरडैम बुलाया जाता था, उसका पहले नाम न्यू एम्स्टरडैम था। ओके, ठीक है, ऑलराइट। और जो चुप रह रहे हैं वो चुप इसलिए नहीं रह रहे, उनको पता नहीं, पता तो किसी को नहीं है। ओके, बट दोज हु आर साइलेंट, दे आर साइलेंट बिकॉज दे डोंट हैव द कॉन्फिडेंस कि वो वर्ड्स रिपीट कर पाएंगे। और उनको ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है वर्ड्स रिपीट नहीं कर पाएंगे? नहीं आ रहा दिमाग में, तो ध्यान से और सुनिएगा, 2 बार 3 बार 4 बार सुनिएगा, अरेंजमेंट आ जाएगा। इट वॉज, ये 2 में तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। इट वॉज फर्स्ट कॉल्ड न्यू एम्स्टरडैम। इट वॉज फर्स्ट कॉल्ड, इट वॉज कॉल्ड नहीं हो सकता, it was called, it was first called New Amsterdam. I think London was first called New Amsterdam. I think New York was first. To what I'm telling you, that I mean, which class will talk about London and New York like this? It has nothing to do with English learning, but because we are talking in English, because our sentence formation is in English, we are learning something about the English language. We are learning so many chapters in the English grammar. We are learning pronouns, we are learning verb forms, we are learning passive voice, and we don't realize it. This is why I keep saying to you guys, listening is learning. Whether you agree with me or not, it won't change the fact. If I say the sun is bigger than the moon, and if you guys say, no, it is not, keep saying, no, it is not. It doesn't change the fact that the sun is bigger, right? So sometimes people disagree with some obvious facts. It doesn't change the fact. Just because some people don't agree. A lot of people around you believe that we should speak if we want to learn to speak English. Basically, we should listen. If we listen, we will eventually speak someday. Next.
3. It's sometimes called the Big Apple.
It is sometimes called the Big Apple. It is sometimes called the Big Apple. What do you guys think? It is sometimes called the Big Apple. Is this a statement about London or New York? Again, silence. I will repeat the words. Repeat the words in the sentence. It is sometimes called, it is sometimes called the Big Apple. Is sometimes called the Big Apple. Okay, Sanjeev. Sanjeev believes that it is New York is sometimes called the Big Apple. What about the rest of you guys? What do you think?
Sir, it's about New York, I think.
It's about New York, you think. Very good, Srishti. All right. It means, Srishti, New York is sometimes called the Big Apple.
The Big Apple.
Okay, Srishti Beta, when you say it is about New York, it means you are saying that I think New York is sometimes called the Big Apple. Okay. Can you repeat that line, Srishti? I think New York is sometimes called the Big Apple. मुझे लगता है कि न्यूयॉर्क को कभी-कभी बुलाया जाता है,
I think
है ना?
New York is sometimes called the Big Apple.
Exactly. New York is sometimes called the Big Apple, the Big Apple, the Big Apple, the Big Apple. Okay.
4. It's home to Wembley Stadium.
It's home to Wembley Stadium. It's home to Wembley Stadium. It's home to Wembley Stadium. It's home to Wembley Stadium. अरे बस लंदन और न्यूयॉर्क तो करना है दोस्तों. तुम्हें नहीं पता कौन सा? मुझे पता है. Even I don't know. Okay. This is not about India. Why would we know? Now, learning English, बताओ English के हिसाब से सेंटेंस क्या होना चाहिए तुम्हारे हिसाब से? क्या तुमने सुना? What did you hear? It is home. अच्छा, it is home तो बोलने में मुश्किल नहीं होनी चाहिए. It is home. आगे 3 वर्ड्स बोलना था. It is home to Wembley Stadium. अब समझ में आ गया? बोल दिया क्या था? It is home to प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना कि हम हिंदी के सो यूज्ड टू हैं कि हमको एक नई भाषा ना रिजेक्ट करते हैं हम लोग. पहले मुश्किल नहीं. इट इज होम बहुत मुश्किल लैंग्वेज है क्या? इट इज होम टू वेम्बली स्टेडियम. आपको क्या लगता है? इज इट अबाउट लंदन और न्यूयॉर्क? व्हाट डू यू गाइस थिंक? फिर सन्नाट. अरे बोल रहा हूं तुम्हें नहीं पता, मुझे भी नहीं पता. न्यूयॉर्क इज home to Wembley Stadium और London is home to Wembley Stadium. और मतलब तो समझ में आ गया कि वेम्बली स्टेडियम कहाँ है? या तो न्यूयॉर्क में है, जिसका नाम ले रहे वहां है. बोलने का तरीका है. न्यूयॉर्क इज होम टू वेम्बली स्टेडियम, लाइक कोलकाता इज होम टू ईडन गार्डन, राइट? ईडन गार्डन इज ए स्टेडियम and Kolkata is home to Eden Garden. Easy. लेकिन ये सब नहीं सुधर रहे क्योंकि मैं कह रहा हूं इनको एंगेज करने के लिए कि पैसिव एंगेजमेंट ही ना दिक्कत दे रही है. एक्टिव एंगेजमेंट लाओ मेरे दोस्तों. तुम्हें किस बात का डर है? प्रफुल्ल, सृष्टि, निखिल, सब लोग जो काफी दिन से हो यहाँ, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड कि आप अगर एक्टिव एंगेजमेंट रखोगे तो यू विल लर्न मोर. ये सब साइकोलॉजिकल फियर्स हैं. ट्रस्ट मी, इस सेंटेंस में कुछ भी ग्रामेटिकली मुश्किल नहीं है. क्या सेंटेंस है? इट इज होम. बताओ तो सब्जेक्ट भी पता है. इट बी वर्ब सेंटेंस है भाई. इट इज होम. इट इज होम टू वेम्बली स्टेडियम. सिर्फ इसलिए कि शब्दों से हिंदी मैच नहीं खाती, मैच करा देते हैं. वेम्बली स्टेडियम का घर कहाँ है? लंदन है. लंदन घर है तो लंदन में है वो. ओके, वेम्बली स्टेडियम लंदन में है. लंदन इज होम टू वेम्बली स्टेडियम. ओके, क्या दोहरा रहे हो आप सब लोग अपने अपने घर में बैठे बैठे अपने मुंह पे ये लाइन? प्रफुल्ल, दोहरा रहे हो या चुपचाप से पैसिव? पैसिव नहीं दोहरा रहे दोस्त. पैसिव एंगेजमेंट है. पैसिव एंगेजमेंट में क्या होता है? बच्चे सिर्फ कान यूज करते हैं और जबान से कुछ दोहराते नहीं. एंगेजमेंट जब हो एक्टिव तो जो बातें समझ में आने लायक हैं, ग्रामर जिसका बहुत चैलेंजिंग नहीं है, बहुत नए वर्ड्स नहीं है, तो उनके सिर्फ दोहराने से वो चीज तुम्हारे दिमाग में पक्का हो जाती है. प्लीज कम, जस्ट यू रिपीट दोज वर्ड्स. सृष्टि बेटा, निखिल, what was the sentence?
London is home to Wembley Stadium.
And meaning is very easy, सृष्टि बेटा. Okay, कि वेम्बली स्टेडियम आपके हिसाब से कहाँ है? लंदन में है. Okay, that's why you said London is home to Wembley Stadium. Okay.
5. It has 5,800 skyscrapers.
5,800 skyscrapers. What do you think?
I think New York has.
Yes, Praful. I know, Praful, you are making good progress. You know, don't be shy, Praful. Go ahead.
I forget.
And again, I want to say this. अगर आपके सारे गेसेस गलत चले जाते हैं फिर भी आपकी इंग्लिश इंप्रूव होने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी, क्योंकि फैक्ट से इंग्लिश नहीं इंप्रूव होती ना. इट्स अबाउट द लैंग्वेज. सो इवन इफ यू मेक ऑल द रॉन्ग गेसेस, 100% wrong answers, okay, all the wrong answers, still If you care about the word order, it means your English is getting better. So it has 5,800 skyscrapers, guys. What do you think?
New York is 500. Sorry, 5,000.
5,800 numbers. You don't hear the numbers in English a lot, so you get confused. Makes sense.
6. The highest building is 310 meters.
The highest building is 308 meters. Now, how will you say this? Come on, tell me. London or New York?
New York has
Has
the highest building.
highest number. 300.
I think this time you should have said the highest building in New York is 308 meters. The highest building in London is 308 meters. If you want to start with London and New York, you can do that. I think London has a building which is 308 meters tall.
8 meters
Okay.
tall.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you need to just feel comfortable about what you are saying. Yes, learn from the order, but don't copy it mindlessly. Copy it, but smartly. Okay.
7. The people living there speak 800 different languages.
The people living there speak 800 different languages.
The New York people are
The people living in New York.
people living in New York.
speak 800 different languages. 800 different languages.
Language.
All right. Okay. So I hope you guys will watch the recording and practice with this audio, okay?
8. Paddington Bear went to stay there.
I don't know who this guy is. Some bear went to stay there. Okay. I think this guy went to stay in London. I think this guy went to stay in New York. Simple. He went to stay there. There means either in London or in England or in New York, right? So practice this way. Remember what I said. In most classes you have attended so far, the focus is always on the facts. Being correct is important in terms of facts. I said here, even if you guess all your answers wrong, okay, no problems. As long as you're getting the sentence right, you are improving your English. So don't forget what your homework is for Monday. You have to write that email, okay, to a friend, a thank you email after spending the weekend with them. And put it in the group. I'll see you guys on Monday. That's all. Which one? This one? Yeah, sure. 9.1. I will. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Good day. Good weekend.